All right. Just more obscene stuff coming out of this shutdown thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is so far. We were talking on the break, Jeff and Rob and I, what has happened to our country? This is not a country that you and I recognize. It's not the country that we grew up in. I mean, it's been radically transformed, just like President Obama promised us. He said, remember, 5 days before the election, we are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming America. And I'm going to go through some of my thinking about how that applies to the debt ceiling here in just a second. Now, you remember that that Obama has shut down the National Mall. I mean, that's where the World War II Memorial is. That's where the Vietnam Memorial is. It's shut down. You can't go there. You'll be trespassing. We're going to haul you off in handcuffs. Even if you're a 91-year-old vet in a wheelchair, we're going to haul you away in handcuffs. By the way, those vets from World War II vets from Ohio scheduled to show up tomorrow. Well, we will see what happens. It's a once-in-a-lifetime visit for these World War II vets. And Obama, the Park Service, under Obama's direction, remember Obama said make life as difficult as you possibly can, the Park Service, the head of the Park Service Police will not promise that they're not going to arrest these 91-year-old vets in wheelchairs and handcuff them to their chairs and load them in the back of the police van and haul them off to jail. Will not promise not to do that. So the mall has been closed down. No World War II vets can go to the World War II Memorial. No Vietnam vets can go to the Vietnam Memorial. Now catch this. A planned immigration reform rally. This is amnesty. This is people that want to support criminal trespass of our sovereign borders. That's what this is about. This is about people that are advocating the criminal trespass of America's borders. You can have a lot of people at this rally that are illegal aliens. They are criminals by virtue of their presence on the National Mall, by virtue of their presence on American soil. But this amnesty rally is on the National Mall, and President Obama said, go right ahead, knock yourselves out, party down. So if you're a Vietnam vet or you're a World War II vet, you want to visit the World War II Memorial, President Obama's word to you is, I'm locking you up, pal. If you are somebody who supports the criminal trespass of America's sovereign borders, President Obama's word to you is party down. Don't mind what I said about this mall being closed. That's just for members of the military that I despise. Here's the story. Washington Examiner. A planned immigration reform rally will take place on the National Mall on Tuesday, that's today, even though the site is closed due to the government shutdown. Organizers for the Camino Americano March for Immigration Reform were spotted Monday setting up stage and equipment on the National Mall for the rally. So they're hauling in speakers, they're hauling in stages, they're hauling in equipment. And this place is supposed to be shut down because we can't afford to keep it open. A few scattered barriers around the park have signs informing visitors that the area is closed as a result of the government shutdown. Susanna Flores, a spokesperson for the rally, confirmed for the Washington Examiner that the Park Service will allow the event to take place under the group's rights granted by the First Amendment. About 30 members of Congress are expected to attend the rally, including House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi and Senator Robert Menendez. The event is hosted by several immigration activist groups, meaning people who support amnesty. So it's open for illegal aliens, closed to World War II veterans. Go figure that. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me. Now, we've shut down the dog therapy program for kids with cancer. We have terminated death benefits for the spouses of soldiers who died in Afghanistan over the weekend. We have closed down Yellowstone Park. We have turned veterans away from the cemetery at Normandy, but and here's a story about a guy getting fined $100 for taking a jog through Valley Forge. A marathoner says, this is AP, a marathoner says he was fined $100 for running in Valley Forge National Historical Park during the government shutdown. John Bell, 56, said he parked his car on Sunday in a remote parking lot, not one blocked by a barrier. He said 2 rangers were waiting. This is unbelievable to me. 2 rangers were waiting with their car lights flashing when he returned. Now, he's going to fight the ticket, but he's got to go to federal court to fight this thing, and he said he saw many other runners and bikers in the park. So realize now, taking a jog in a national park has become a federal crime. He's got to appeal this thing in federal court. Maine's Acadia National Park had trouble keeping visitors out during the shutdown, was issuing fines to campers, bikers, and hikers. On Saturday, 16 hikers hopped a gate to gain entry to Utah's closed Zion National Park, and National Park Service spokesman would not return calls. So there you have it. Get a $100 fine for taking a jog in a national park. Had two cruisers with flashing lights and armed policemen waiting for this guy when he got back to his car. I mean, what has happened to my country? Now, you'll be pleased to know we got all this shut down. Zion National Park shut down. You can get a ticket for taking a jog at Valley Forge National Park. Number to call, by the way, if you want to bleed off some of the energy that I have stirred up in you. Number to call is 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Number to call if you want to join the program about just the absurdity of this shutdown. So they're out there buying mechanical bulls, but they don't have a $100,000 death benefit for the spouses of soldiers who gave their last full measure of devotion on some godforsaken battlefield in Afghanistan over the weekend. No, we don't have that for you. We got $47,000 for mechanical bull, but we don't have money to let the kids with cancer get dog therapy. Can't let the vets visit the cemetery at Normandy, but you will be happy to know that the exclusive gyms for members of Congress are running flat, wide open. Here's how the piece goes. ThinkProgress.org. Head Start programs have been shuttered. Small businesses can't get loans. Hundreds of thousands of federal government employees are furloughed. But the exclusive gyms available only to members of Congress have remained open throughout the shutdown. Now, the house gym, for instance, features a swimming pool, basketball courts, paddleball courts, a sauna, a steam room, and flat-screen TVs. Now, sadly, and it just makes your heart break, towel service is currently unavailable. So they got to bring their own towels, the poor souls. But cleaning and maintenance has been performed daily throughout the shutdown. Yeah, so, and this was Speaker Boehner made this decision. I mean, you can't lay this one off on Obama. According to the aide, the decision to keep the gym open came directly from Speaker Boehner's office. So I don't know what's going on over on the Senate side. It appears that the members' gym in the Senate remains open on similar terms. So that's Harry Reid's business over there. And Lindsey Graham, listen to this. Can you believe this? Lindsey Graham was complaining that the members' gym, this exclusive members' gym for members of the Senate, was getting, quote, rank, end quote. He was bugged at this. He was stewed that his exclusive gym with all of its high-priced tone equipment, and I've seen pictures. I saw a picture this morning of what these gyms look like. Man, it just glistens. It's state-of-the-art equipment all over the fruited plain. So anyway, that is what's going on the shutdown front. And let me just finish this segment. I do want to move on to other topics. 888-589-8840. But let me finish just read the end of the paragraph, or the last paragraph in this piece by Teresa Monroe Hamilton. It was on rightwingnews.com about Yellowstone Park. And here's what she said. Here's the answer to what's happened to our country. And so it goes from nudge to shove and very soon to shoot. Remember, this is after she'd written about these foreign tourists from Japan, Australia, Canada, being locked up in their hotel rooms with armed park rangers stationed at the door so they couldn't slip out and watch Old Faithful, which was barricaded. So she's writing about that. Surely Americans now see they are living under the iron fist of a dictator. They are using lands and monuments that belong to America against us, held hostage as wards of the state, not property of the free. What makes Americans think that with the government in control of health care, that they won't use the same tactics. I mean, we had a caller made this comment earlier this week or late last week. Very, very profound observation. If you've got a government that can, with a phone call, can shut down a war memorial, can send orders to police to lock people up that go there, that can issue $100 fines for jogging in a national park, what makes us think that they can be trusted with our health care? If they will do that to American citizens when it comes to access to national parks, what are they going to do when we're talking about access to health care? What are they going to do when it's access to chemotherapy? What are they going to do when it's access to life-giving surgery? There's absolutely no reason they can say, no, we're not going to do it. Not for you. We got to shut down in place. We're not going to be able to give that to you. And here she goes on to kind of spell out some of the implications about health care with this government. Comply or no antibiotics for you. Submit or no chemotherapy. Kneel or no transplant. And even then, only those who we deem young enough, correct enough, or wealthy and powerful enough will receive the benefits of the all-controlling Marxist state. America has become Russia's protege thanks to the enemies within. So, that's what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening to our country as we speak. Never did get to my column. I'll come back to that in the second hour. But that's what's happening out there in America, in the United States. One of the things I'm going to talk about with my column today is this debt ceiling issue. I'm looking at a story here, and this is amazing. This is a winner for the Republicans if they will recognize the opportunity and seize it. According to a Fox News national poll, 58% of the American people would vote against an increase in the debt ceiling. 58% would vote against an increase in the debt ceiling. Just 37% would vote for it. They've had it up to here with government spending. They've had it up to here with the national debt. They vote against it. The question is, are the Republicans listening? Will they pay attention, and will they do the right thing, vote against an increase in the debt ceiling?